Okay, in this video we're going to talk about dimensional analysis. We use this to convert between different types of units, so if you want to go from kilometers to meters or something like that. In chemistry you probably did from like atoms to moles, or moles to atoms, or grams to moles, or whatever. And you use conversions all the time, you just don't realize it. If you want to figure out how many cups are in a gallon, that's a conversion. And so we set this up in dimensional analysis. Sometimes your teachers will call it a train track or T-chart or whatever. I don't really care what you call this. You can call it, I don't care. But you always put what you know here. That's what you're given. You put what you want here. And then what you don't want. So this is the units of your given. And this is your new units. And sometimes you've got to do multiple steps. When you guys did chemistry, sometimes you had to go from grams to moles, and then moles to atoms, or atoms to moles, and then moles to grams. So sometimes you can do more than one, and you'll have an intermediate, and then you'll just add another one right here and do the same thing. Okay. So how many meters is in 800 kilometers? I've got this little thing up here to help guide you. You want to put the 800 kilometers right here because that's what you know. And the units that you don't know or that you already have are here. And you can see they'll cross out. And we want meters. So I'm going to put an M right here. Okay, and now I have to figure out these numbers, and this is where those conversions that we talked about back in the this SI units video, that's where this will come in. And you're going to ask yourself every time, you're going to say how many of the small ones are in the big one. So how many small or how many meters, because they're the small one, in the big one, or kilometers. Okay, so if you know your SI units, remember I told you to memorize these, you know there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. And then you're just going to do 800 times 1,000, and you'll get 800,000 meters. And this makes sense because kilometers are big, so you're going to have more small things than you would kilometers because meters are smaller than kilometers. So let's try another one. We have an object's mass is 250 grams. This is the thing that I know. I want to get rid of grams, so I'm going to put grams here, and then they'll cross out. And I want kilograms, so I'm going to put that here. Now, remember, your grams are the small one, and your kilograms are the big one. So you're going to ask, how many grams are in 1 kilogram? Okay? If you remember, kilo is 1,000, so there should be 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So in this one, you'll do 250 divided by 1,000, and you will get 0.250 kilogram. So because your grams are small, you're not going to get an entire kilogram, and that's okay. If you have 10 cups, you might not get 10 gallons. You may only get 1 or 2 gallons, or less than a gallon. Okay, so this is kind of what's going on here. Now let's try one more, and we're going to do one of the long ones. So they give you centimeters. So we're going to write 4 centimeters, and then centimeters is what we're given, so we want to get rid of centimeters. That way these cross out. Now, you don't want to go straight from centimeters to kilometers. You can, but it's much harder and it's really confusing. So even when I do it, I go from centimeters to meters. And sometimes I'll draw a little kind of outline of what I want to do. I'm going to go from centimeters to meters, and then I'll go from meters to kilometers. Okay, so that means I'm going to want to put a meter here, and then I'll put meters on the bottom. Again, I want to get rid of these meters. They are not what I want in the long run. And I will put kilometers here. Now for this one, I'm going to ask, how many of the small things are in the big thing? And you should know this from your metric units. I told you to remember, but there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Remember, centi means 100. Now, the meter is the small thing, and we want to know how many meters are in 1 kilometer. Remember, kilo means 1,000, so we have 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So, when you do this, you'll have 4 divided by 1,000, or 100, and then you'll divide by 1,000. So you're going to get a very small number, 0.00004 kilometers. And because this is so long, we can actually scientific notation it. So this is a good way kind of practice scientific notation. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll have 4 times 10 to the negative 5 kilometers. And remember, it's negative because it's a small number. And so this could be our final answer. If you leave your answer like this, I'm not going to get mad, but scientific notation gives you kind of a way to practice it.